So today I'm going to be checking out Tommy Bahama Maritime Triumph, which is the newest flanker in the line. The Maritime line is kind of popping, right? They're starting to release a lot of flankers. Of course, they have quite a few of the set sail flankers or whatever, set sail, St. Bart's, St. Kitts, and all of those. So I guess this is kind of the next line that they're focusing on to start pushing some flankers behind. This one just became available not too long ago. You can get it from Macy's, and you can also get it from Tommy Bahama's official website. This one does go for a whopping $82 at retail, which is a lot of money for a Tommy Bahama. A lot of times these show up at rack stores, at discount stores, and a lot of times they show up at discounters for, I don't know, sometimes $20, $30, depending on if it's a coveted scent or not. But one thing I do also want to point out is that this one is a limited edition. Now, whether it's going to be an actual limited edition where they have a limited quantity available and then it's gone after that, or if they say it's a limited edition but then 5 years down the road they're still making this, I don't know for sure. So if it is truly a limited edition, I don't know how that's going to affect it long term at discounters. So I figured, well, might as well just go ahead and grab a bottle now, share my thoughts with you guys. One thing that's also cool is that they give us a full note breakdown on the official website. They're not just doing the 3 notes note breakdown like a lot of brands have been doing recently, giving you one top, one mid, and one base. Not really sure what the trend behind that one is, but we do have a full note breakdown to take a look at here. I'm going to go ahead and pop this one out of the box and we'll jump into it. So here's the bottle, and I have to admit I am a big fan of the Maritime bottles. One thing that I do like is the use of the rope on the Maritime bottles, and it does look like that can just about pop off, which is kind of neat. They also do this on the set sail bottles as well, just a little rope tied around the cap just to give it a nautical, kind of a oceanic, aquatic type of look, right? Something that you would expect to see on a boat or a cruise ship, that sort of thing. I really like that. It kind of ties back to the brand's image very nicely. Also with these bottles, the atomizer sticks through the cap there. So again, you have a boat cleat here, and right there in the middle, you can see the little atomizer sticking up. A nice wooden base around where the cap sits as well, and that is prominent on the other Maritime bottles. Nice presentation. For $80, this would be about the minimum that you would want. Once these hit discounters for, I don't know, less than 40 bucks or so, then it starts to be pretty good bang for your buck presentation wise. The bottle has a lot of heft to it. The cap does slide into place. It is a press fit, so I would not trust picking this up by the cap because the bottle, again, does have some weight to it, but really nice bottles, and I do think they've stepped them up. Quality-wise, these bottles feel a lot better than the set sail line. Those the caps are kind of plastic and cheap feeling, and I think they have come a long way here. Let's go ahead and get it on paper, and we'll see where it's at. Bit of a narrow distribution on the atomizer. So it opens up fresh, spicy, semi-warm, but immediately does have a Tommy Bahama kind of tropical smell to it, something that you would expect from the line right off the bat here. Citrusy, spicy, fresh, semi-aquatic, kind of salty, a little bit aromatic as well. Up top we have bergamot, mandarin, violet leaves. In the mid we have pimento berries, cedar leaf, nutmeg. In the dry down we have cashmere, patchouli, and saffron. So a lot of that spicy kick is going to be coming from a bit of the saffron, a bit of the pimento berries as well. Nutmeg is also in there. It's going to be giving it a spiciness. I find that it is very woody, so that cedar wood is coming through strong. And you also get the violet leaves. Now that's what's going to be giving you the watery feel. So according to this note breakdown, again, official note breakdown according to the website, there's no aquatic notes. So that's kind of a bit out of the ordinary from Tommy Bahama. A lot of their scents do focus around that. But you are getting the marine watery feel from the violet leaves rather than just an actual aquatic note. Which is nice. The violet leaves do a good job of kind of giving it a fresh, clean, ozonic type of smell. I do find that I also get a slight fuzziness from the cashmere. It's not a cashmere note that I don't like in this one. Cashmere is a note that, depending on how it's used, I may or may not be a fan of. When it's used heavily in something like, for example, Dolce & Gabbana The One, Eau de Parfum Intense 2020, whatever that scent is called. I always struggle with the name of that one. Not a big fan of it there. It's very strong and not my thing, but here it's a bit fuzzy warm. On skin, it's a very similar deal. More of that sweetness comes through, more of that spicy nutmeg comes through. Pimento gives a bit of a sweetness. A little bit of the patchouli is coming through as well. It's kind of buried in the base. Get a nice creamy orange up top, more so orange than you do from bergamot. And again, the violet leaves are kind of doing a similar thing here on skin where it's giving you a watery type of feel. Now this is surprising because this has quite a bit more depth and quite a bit more richness than most Tommy Bahamas. You know, it's not straight up citrus and aquatic all the way through. You're getting some woods, you're getting some spices, you're getting some warm notes, and you're getting something that is a bit more of a head scratcher, right? Instead of just smelling this and thinking, oh, okay, now they're citrus aquatic. Sure, those do smell great, but they're not too complex or challenging. And I'm not saying that this is super complex or challenging either, but there are more layers to explore here. You know, there is a bit more going on, to where you can kind of dive in and start to pick out some different notes that you wouldn't normally expect from a Tommy Bahama scent. Now, unfortunately, what I do find to be the case on my skin and on paper is that it's not very strong. I don't know if it's an olfactory fatigue issue, which I don't really see why, because it's not ambroxan heavy. I don't even get too much cashmere. So it's not like it's super aroma chemical heavy. It's just when I get it on paper, when I get it on skin, after it's been sitting for a while, I don't know, it gets harder to pick up on the scent. I don't really want to say it's that weak where it's already wearing off, but I do find that after it does sit, the scent itself does become more mild and much closer to the skin. It definitely softens up as it sits down and lays down on your skin. When you first spray it on, you do get a good amount of a warm, spicy kick, but as it sits here, you know, some of that spiciness is dwindling back. It's kind of smoothing out, being ever so slightly creamy, and again, very soft. I'm going to have to test this one more, but I don't see performance being a strong suit here. Again, from a Tommy Bahama, that's not something that you normally expect. And following along with that performance speculation there, this is also still an eau de cologne concentration. Now, I'm not really sure why they're still sticking with eau de colognes, but that's something that they've always done. I wish and I would like to see that they would step it up to at least an EDT as the base level. Look, I get if you want to have something as an eau de cologne, be very fresh and not last too long, just kind of as an early morning refreshing scent. So that way it doesn't last too long. Spray it on when you get out of the shower, and then you can, you know, apply a different scent later on in the day. And that would be great. Two problems with that though. First of all, these do retail for $80, a little bit over. By the time you're done paying shipping and tax, you're probably looking at closer to $100. And a lot of people are going to be buying these at retail when they go into the retailers and the Tommy Bahama surf style stores, right? They pick this up, they smell it, they think it smells great, and then they walk out with a $100 dent in their wallet for something that doesn't perform. I find that to be, you know, a little bit of an issue. And not only that, but when you get into a fragrance like this, which is a warm, spicy, woody scent, this shouldn't be an eau de cologne. I really just don't think it should. I think that they should have stepped the Maritime line up to an eau de toilette. You know, they have all the others producing eau de cologne. Cool, that's fine. Since you're still putting out fragrances, step these up to an eau de toilette, and I think they could have made this one an eau de parfum. It smells like it could have much more richness and much more depth, and if it had more oomph to it, I think it would smell really good. But it is weak on my skin, and if this was an eau de parfum, I think it would smell really good. But again, they're still sticking with eau de cologne, and they are kind of on the weaker side here. And I think it would also be nice if they could have stepped this up to an eau de parfum, and then since they're kind of doing a flanker of a flanker here, they could have done another flanker of a flanker and released a parfum after this one and made it even more strong and even more rich. You know, they do have a lot more potential if they would start changing up the concentration on these. But as it sits as an eau de cologne, I really don't know if I would purchase this one. Again, as it sits here on my skin, very weak, it's dwindling fast, and while it does smell good in the opening, and while I think that this one could have had potential to be one of the better Tommy Bahamas because it does have a bit more richness, you know, it just fades, and an eau de cologne for this type of scent just doesn't make a lot of sense. So as it sits right now, would I pay retail for this one again? No, absolutely not, and I would recommend you to not pay retail for this one as well. Going on $100 for this is not at all worth it. When this one hits discounters and you can maybe get it for $30, pushing $40 or so, then we'll have to reevaluate. I will test this one more. I will get down to the bottom of it, see what the performance is actually doing, and then I'll follow up in a future review later on, probably by the time we get into summer. As it sits right now for me though, hard pass. Great smell, but there just isn't much to it. And again, just doesn't make a lot of sense having something like this as an eau de cologne. It is a limited edition, so maybe we won't have to worry about it much longer. If it truly is going to be limited, we'll have to see. If you guys have gotten your nose on this one yet, let me know what you think down below. And I will also link to some of the other good Tommy Bahama fragrances to discounters down below. So St. Bart's, St. Kitts, even Island Life. Really good. And actually Island Life is another one where it's a nutmeg, woody, spicy scent. Doesn't smell like this one, but it does have a similar thing going on with the woods. And it's also an eau de cologne. I guess that is their thing, but at the same time, they could really create some good products if they started playing around with the concentration of these. They could start releasing an EDP, they could start releasing a parfum, and I think that would help them out a lot. So yeah, again, kind of off track there, but those links will be down below to some other good Tommy Bahamas at a fraction of the price. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.